It is starting to feel like fall. And of course, now that I say that, it's probably going to be a 90-degree heat wave and it'll ruin the rest of October. But if it stays like this or gets cooler, the last half of October can be very productive for hunting. I know that there's that dreaded October lull, but if you change up your tactics a little bit, it won't be much of a lull for you. As we inch closer to the end of the month, the rut is going to start heating up a little more and more. The bucks are going to start acting a little more aggressive to each other. The young bucks are being kicked away from their moms, and hopefully you are going to be in a stand. But you still have to be very careful about how you hunt and where. So in this video, we're going to go over 3 pre-rut hunting tips so you can beat that October lull, but not ruin the rest of your season. But before we get into the tips, do me a favor, and if this is your first time on my channel, hit that subscribe button and make sure you click the bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a video. And the first pre-rut hunting tip is to get away from those food plots and look for some activity in the timber. I think this is where the lull is felt the most. We have cameras set up over our food plots all summer and there are deer in it daily. And then all of a sudden they're just gone. It feels like there aren't any deer in the county. But the truth is they're probably just 100 yards away. If all you do is hunt the edge of your food plots, you might be waiting for the post-rut to see any real deer activity in it at all, especially if you're after mature deer. And quite honestly, you may not ever get a glimpse of a good deer during daylight hours because you're probably putting way too much hunting pressure on your food plots. During October, what food source becomes available that deer just devour? It's not your brassicas and wheat. It's those acorns that are raining down like hail in the woods. Or, well, hopefully they're raining down. Get some stands set up in the woods where the acorns are raining down and deer are known to travel, especially if you can find an area where bucks are known to make scrapes and rubs. And this is where they're going to be staging up before coming into your food plots at nighttime because you are overpressuring them. And the second pre-rut hunting tip is to not get too aggressive hunting your bedding areas. I know the idea is to get off of your food plots and into the woods where deer are going to be during this time of the year, but you have to be very careful that you're not putting pressure on your bedding areas. During the hunting season, I think that secure cover is the most important factor when it comes to hunting success. And if you're putting a lot of pressure on your secure bedding thickets, deer aren't going to feel secure there anymore. Once they don't feel safe in an area, they're not going to go anywhere near it until after dark, if at all. You have to be very careful how you're hunting the transition zones between bedding and food or multiple bedding thickets. You do not want deer to feel unsafe in these areas. You need to make them have their own little safe spaces. Save hunting the bedding thickets for the aggressive rut hunts. And the third pre-rut hunting tip is to make sure that you are hunting the morning of a good cold front. We all know, or we all should know, that cold fronts get deer moving, and frosty mornings after a cold front has moved through are great times to get deer up on their feet. Temperature drops of more than 10 degrees from the previous day's high is considered a cold front. And cold fronts change deer behavior. They make deer move farther and more often than they would previously. And this is when a nocturnal buck could become more vulnerable. It forces him to move farther than he normally would and could coax him out during those daylight hours. These cold fronts are those high percentage days that I've talked about in previous videos. You have to balance the potential reward of tagging a deer with the guaranteed intrusion of going in and hunting, no matter how careful you are with your entrance and exit strategies. Take advantage of these high percentage days during the pre-rut, hunt where they're going to be and when they're going to be there. So that was 3 pre-rut hunting tips. If you have any more pre-rut hunting tips you'd like to share or anything you'd like to add to what I've already gone over, leave that down in the comments below. Hit that like button if you liked this video, share it if you found it helpful, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can stay informed.